The name of the game. Football. The name of the game. Football. The name of the game.
We have no plan.
What's up, World
Cheers.
Cup? Episode 2, straight from the dome.
What's up, World Cup? There's a soccer ball ice cube, so this is going to be great. This might be my drink of choice after every U.S. men's national team win. I'm going to have one of these with a soccer ball ice cube.
So you're telling me I'm not going to serve a lot of old fashions with soccer ball ice cubes to you?
No, I'm going to drink beer during games, and then it's to celebrate.
How many
after.
wins are you forecasting for the U.S.?
Whew.
Who are we playing? Set it up for.
Game 1 is Paraguay. Last time we played them, which was in the last year, we beat them 5-1. Feeling good.
All right.
Game 2 is Australia. Last time we played them within the last year, we beat them 2.
All right. These feel like teams we should dominate.
Game 3 is against formerly known Turkey. You may not know this, but Turkey no longer goes by Turkey. They now go by Turkey A.
Delivery.
Turkey A.
Turkey A, yeah.
Our cameraman's being delivered hot fries while we're recording, which is great. Great service here.
Turkey A. Last time we played them, we lost to them 2-1. So
Are you sure that's not just the Canadian pronunciation?
That's the Turkeyans pronunciation.
You don't just call them turkeys? What do you turkey? This is probably entering a weird territory. All right, so we got Turkey, we got
Turkey A,
Turkey
Australia, and Paraguay.
Sorry.
If we top that group, we'll get a third place team from another group in the next round.
So you feel strong that at least 2 old fashions are coming our way in pool stages? You think
pool stages 2.
Yeah.
2.5. I think I would put the over under at 2.5.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the round of 32, I think we'll win that.
All right.
And then round of 16, the odds will be not in our favor.
How many did we win when that jacket was made in
1994?
First World Cup in America.
1994, first World Cup in the United States. We tied Switzerland 1-1 first game. First game ever played under a dome.
Neutral score against Switzerland.
Neutral score against Switzerland, yeah. Second game, we beat Colombia 2-1. Colombia were favorites to win the World Cup.
Was that the game where the goalie got murdered after?
Not the goalie, but the defender, yes. He
literally was shot and killed because we won?
Because he scored an own goal, yeah.
That led to the United States winning.
That led to the and Colombia being knocked out of the World Cup.
Wow.
In the third game, I think we lost to Romania, of all teams.
Regime change looked a little different back in the 90s.
It sure did.
So, all right, so it's going to be fun. That's a sweet jacket. I'm wearing a 94 World Cup hat. The big news this week, Kansas City World Cup, is that hotels are not filling up. I actually happened to be at one of the World Cup hotels today visiting at the downtown Marriott, the largest hotel in terms of capacity in Kansas City.
Yeah.
I got the skinny from one of the sales guys.
What'd they say?
They said that basically their game days and plus 1 or 2 days on either side of game days are fantastic. Those are looking great. It's the in-between times where they were promised that people will be coming to the fan festival or visiting for the training camps where they're hurting. And he basically said they would have been better off just going corporate travel because they held all these room blocks for so long. And now they're not they had to let go. FIFA's letting some of them go.
So what I said last episode is right. The party's still going to be good.
Yeah, the stadiums are still going to have tens of thousands of people. But let's just discuss the whole thing. I also asked you between episodes, we're going to have a bunch of empty seats in these games.
Yes, I do think we're going to have
It's going to be hard
seats.
to convince Chiefs Nation or Kansas City that empty seats at Arrowhead is some success for this World Festival.
FIFA made some colossal mistakes, in my opinion. This is the first World Cup that has ever had dynamic pricing, meaning every game, a Chiefs game, when you think about a Chiefs season ticket, you pay the same price every game for the seat that you have for a Chiefs season ticket. This is not the case for the World Cup, and they've never done it this way before. So a group game when Team A is playing Team B is going to cost differently than Team C against Team D. And that reason has created this really big swings in the pricing.
And they're also releasing them not all at once, right? Aren't they letting them out in drips?
They've been holding them back, acting as though they're releasing everything, and then 2 weeks later they release more to create artificial scarcity, which has worked to drive up prices. But my prediction is that prices are going to plummet. They're actually already plummeting. We're seeing tickets go for half of face value on resale platforms right now. Not all games. When Argentina's playing, those tickets are going to stay high. When England's playing, those tickets are going to stay high. But when Tunisia plays or Algeria plays Austria, those tickets are going to drop. I think you can get to that game at Arrowhead for $100.
So is this a just charge way more and get less fans and get the same net outcome strategy, or do you think FIFA's surprised that they're not moving?
I do think FIFA's surprised, but the World Cup final 4 years ago in Qatar, that ticket, the most expensive ticket to that game was $1,500 face value. This World Cup, $10,000.
So it's incredibly expensive to go. Mm-hmm. It's incredibly expensive to stay because that's part of the hotel problems, right? Like, they're wildly expensive. They went from $120 room nights and charged $800 for that same room now. I've got to think that's also a dynamic.
That's not helpful. And so I don't feel bad for the hotels because they've played part in like just ramping up prices that surely has Americans, that maybe an American family that lives in Chicago looked at the prices and said, you know what, we'll just watch the World Cup at home. I did look today though, and the prices in Lee Summit at hotels have fallen. So they're more normal pricing for the dates I looked at in the summer.
Well, hopefully this like kind of negative or sobering news will almost result in some correction.
You should also know, literally every World Cup, all of the news leading up to it is how terrible an event it's going to be. Brazil wasn't going to be able to put it on. It was going to be,
Qatar was how many people died.
How many people? Yeah. That is.
How is our death toll? How many people have died to get this World Cup off the ground?
Yeah, 0.
Okay, that seems like a win. That's a win.
But I mean, it's not going to be doom and gloom. It's going to be a party, and there's no better place to be than Gnarly Hustle.
That's right.
During such party,
we're sitting under some new shade. It's the Kansas City Cannabis. So there's going to be a lot of shady spots to sit and watch the World Cup. We're putting some exterior televisions up. So it's going to be a fantastic place to watch the game if you're not at it.
Well, can I take a moment there? If just off to our right is a brand new mural that's being painted by my very talented wife, and that's not the only mural that's going to be here at Gnarly Hustle. She's also putting up a bracket mural inside. Are we calling this the beer hall?
Yeah, that's sure.
The beer hall. To feel soccer, and so we're gonna have murals. It's gonna be a beautiful place to watch.
Also, there's a beer hall, which is new, and all for the World Cup. Like this is our version of All In. The Marriott's is holding their rooms forever in the hopes that they'll sell. This is our version of going all in, and we're still happy for what it's.
Beer halls. How much are you raising the prices on drinks?
We're gonna keep them the same.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when a Missouri or Kansas team plays, you get $2 hams. Does that include the U.S. men's national team?
$1 hams.
Oh.
Yeah. We can do that for the U.S. national
Okay, because the U.S. men's national team has a player from Missouri on it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's from St. Louis, but...
That's a bummer. Don't we have a referee from Kansas City?
We do. We have a referee reffing the World Cup from Kansas City.
Tell us,
started in just the youth leagues in Johnson County 15 years ago, and now he's reffing the World Cup.
It's pretty cool. Do you think, like, he gets death threats after every game? Like, because, like... Reffing now, parents try to beat you up when you walk to your car in the parking lot. What's it like reffing a World Cup? We were talking about 30 years ago, a Colombian player got shot for an own goal.
Well, not in the U.S. That happened in Colombia.
Yeah, but we caused it.
Fair. I don't think any World Cup referees walk to their car in the parking lot.
That's fair. So they levitate? They're
probably giving a ride.
Okay, fair.
Like a mini Pope mobile, maybe?
That would be fun.
Yeah.
There's two things that I have in my mind I want to talk about. So the Netherlands national team, all the staffers have to move out of their offices so the Netherlands can take it over.
Are they bitter about it?
No, I think they're all really pumped.
Okay.
I think they're really pumped. But like Nike's moving in and creating because Nike's, I guess,
the Netherlands. Yeah.
So they're moving in and creating some kind of athlete something or other. I don't know if it's like a media thing or a kit thing, but like they're doing like a full-on takeover of the complex in Riverside. And apparently the Dutch were worried about people spying because, like, if you've ever been out to that training facility, there's basically just warehouses.
Yeah, it's wide.
They're worried about people being in the warehouses spying like other teams.
Well, Canada got in trouble for that
in
World Cup both men's and women's soccer over the last few years. Literally, they got caught videotaping other teams' practices and got some type of penalty of some sort.
Huh.
And then they did it in the Winter Olympics with the curling, the extra touch. Did you see that?
No, I did not.
There was a curling gate that happened in the Winter Olympics this past time around. Also Canada.
Those guys, you can't trust them.
Nope.
So the Dutch are coming. They're gonna take Casey Current. I guess like one of the things that blows my mind, because we talked a little bit on the last episode about like how does Kansas City become the capital of soccer, and I think one of the huge things is the Kansas City Current. I mean, they have changed the face. When we were growing up, We went to the first ever Wizards game at Arrowhead.
We sure did.
They were the Wiz.
The Wiz.
And the evolution is now, like, the current seemed impossible back then. How much has that changed the landscape? And how did it, like, what's your take on, tell us the origin story of the Kansas City Current?
In 2019, the Women's World Cup was going to be in France. And so I figured that's my ticket. My wife would want to go. She'd think it was cool to take our daughter to see a World Cup in person. So I asked the guy that I worked with that ran the tour program, and I said, hey, can we do a Women's World Cup tour? And he said, sure, if you can get enough kids. I doubt you can, but if you can get enough kids. So I created a quick video, put it on Facebook. 2 weeks later, I had a list of 250 families locally in Kansas City that wanted to go on this trip. So we did it. We took more than 300 people to France for the Women's World Cup. One of those people in tow, Chris Long, with his daughter, Mary Long. Mary Long, now a U.S. Women's National Team player, currently dealing with an ACL injury, and her dad and mom are the owners of KC Current. While there, I'm in the parking lot, or I'm in the bus, chatting. I'm chatting up to Chris, the dad. You know, he's just a dad on one of the teams.
Not the owner of a sports team yet.
Not the owner of a sports team yet. No. And I'm chatting to Chris, and I said to him, he mentioned, I'm going to go meet up with Grant Wall next. Grant Wall grew up in Kansas City, Sports Illustrated journalist, giant journalist in not just soccer, but college basketball as well. I knew him, and I followed him, and I was really into his stuff. Anyways, I was like, oh, you know Grant? And he was like, yeah, we went to Princeton together. I'm going to go meet up with him. Anyways, a year later, or a couple years later, they announced Current has started, and Grant's tweeting and writing stories about it, and he said that Chris told him that France World Cup tour and seeing all of these girls, many from Kansas City, experiencing the World Cup in person, watching the U.S. Women's National Team play, was kind of the start of him going, I think we should do a women's professional team in Kansas City. And nobody touches how much investment they've made into the women's game compared to what we have here.
Well, I mean, the $118 million stadium, right? And they, like, when we say change the landscape, like, they didn't just change, like, give us a women's soccer team. Literally, we used to drive around Riverside, it was nothing but warehouses. And now they have 12 fields out there, 2 stadium structures. There's the Morton Amphitheater. There's a hotel going out on site. And then the riverfront, Berkeley Riverfront was nothing. It was there wasn't a thing. Events weren't there when we were younger.
Yeah.
And now they've literally, you know, through their capital venture firm, basically changed the entire physical downtown of Kansas City. There's a riverfront now, and there didn't used to be. That's
based around women's sports. How cool is that?
Right.
I mean, how cool? Yeah.
Yeah, and so that that stadium is the first women's. Let me get this right. It's the first stadium ever built specifically for a women's sports team in the world.
For a women's professional sports team in the world, yes.
And don't they own teams in other countries now too, right? Aren't the Longs
in Denmark as well?
And I think in one more.
Ooh, maybe, I don't know.
I think that's right.
Yeah. Brighton, Hove, and Albion just announced they're going to do a purpose-built women's professional soccer stadium, which will be the second. So we beat England at their own game to a first.
Yeah.
And they're building it in England here soon.
And the other thing that is intertwined inextricably is Ted Lasso. They're now promoting the next season of Ted Lasso, which took a hiatus, and he's now coaching a women's team. And obviously he was shot here. We all saw the images of, I mean, Kansas City was like paralyzed with excitement for 2 weeks because they were here. And everybody knows he was wearing Current gear and he's coaching a women's team.
Yep.
And so, like, if you could take Ted Lasso and put it in a box, separate from KC Current, what did that do for Kansas City soccer?
Well, did you know I met Ted Lasso's mom?
I did not know this.
And the first thing I said to her, I go, I'm from Kansas City. She goes, I'm from Kansas City too. And I said, oh, cool, where are you from? And she was like, well, my son's Jason Sudeikis, you know, Ted Lasso? And I said,
like it needed further explanation.
Yeah, sure thing. And I said, she goes, where are you from? And I said, Lee Summit. She goes, oh, were you at the shoot we did at the grocery store just a couple months ago? And I was like, I was not. She goes, Lee Summit's really nice. I ran into her in Washington, D.C. at a bar trying to watch a Monday Night Chiefs game. I can speak for years about Ted Lasso and just my enthusiasm for the story it tells about life and positivity and curiosity and how you intertwine with people. So there's this whole life element to it that I think is really cool. But as a Kansas Citian, which many of you listening to this podcast or watching this podcast, or that are going to, come to Gnarly Hustle, like seeing all of the Kansas City references and putting us on that stage,
Right.
and then connecting it to soccer, which is the Globe's game that's coming to Kansas City. Like it all of these intertwined things are really something special. And as a Kansas Cityan, I think all of us like owe it to ourselves to like embrace the World Cup in the best possible way.
I mean, I wonder I guess Lasso comes out after the World Cup?
August.
Okay, so after.
And that's intentional.
You think so?
Yeah.
Just to get people excited about it.
Well, they know the world, like the world is going to be on fire for the World Cup, and so let's just run right after. There's people watching this now that weren't soccer fans that'll become soccer fans this summer.
All right, so I do wonder. I'm worried because it feels like Kansas City's jaded right now when you talk about the World Cup. Like literally, if you're in a soccer bubble, it'd be hard for anyone to probably. I don't know if people try to pop your soccer bubble as excited as you are, but there are people who are really negative about it.
Yeah, I just said it. Everybody's really negative leading up to a World Cup. Qatar's got all of the human rights issues.
Yeah.
The 2018 World Cup is in Russia. The 2014 World Cup, there were literally riots in the streets of Brazil outside of soccer games.
Okay, so Kansas City. Every single street is paralyzed with orange cones. The Barney Alice Plaza, right outside the Kansas City's largest hotel, was supposed to be done for the World Cup. There's a 0% chance any of it's done for the World Cup. Like, you can't drive in Kansas City without running into a paralyzed traffic situation. People are worried that if you add this influx of people, there's like, Kansas City's gonna be immobile. I don't think that's an invalid concern. And if you live and work in the city, you don't really care about soccer, the inconvenience might not be overcome by the sound of vuvuzelas.
Okay, hope to God they're not here this summer, by the way. But you can't have it both ways. You can't be bitching about there's nobody showing up to the World Cup and it's underwhelming. At the same time, it's going to be too crowded and I won't be able to get my groceries in time because the lines will be too long from all the foreigners that are in line.
Why we get winter and spring and summer in one weekend?
So you think it's fine? You can complain.
Well, I think you're going to get it both ways either way.
Yeah. Okay.
Just like you don't like it when the referee screws up in your favor, against you, but you like it when they do it in your favor.
So the thing that I think is unique about Kansas City is there is no other city that I've ever been to in the United States or the world that wears the tourist T-shirts
of itself.
Yeah. Like that is something that is unique about Kansas City is how enthusiastic and eager we are to share our space and what we do with anybody that we come across.
Yeah.
And all of us that travel as Kansas Cityans and go places, we're so eager to talk about Kansas City. And so I think once we get to June and the lights are shining bright and people are here and games are happening, I think Kansas Cityans will step up to it and embrace the fun, and the inconveniences that might come, which I don't think will be great, but that might be just the suburban bubble that I live in, to be fair. I don't think the inconveniences will outweigh the party that it is, and not just for the soccer fan, for the people that enjoy showing off Kansas City, which is most of us.
And I like if the stadiums are going to be completely full, and we're talking about essentially 6 home Chiefs games that aren't sellouts in a matter of 6 weeks, that doesn't paralyze our city. Like, we have Chiefs games all the time. Like, you know what I mean?
That's a good point. But that's not it. This is not 6 Chiefs home games. We've got 6 games. The quarterfinal will very likely be Messi versus Ronaldo in Kansas City. They're both at the end of their career. This is both of their last World Cups. Whoever loses will finish their World Cup career. One of the best 4 or 5 World Cup careers that have ever existed at Arrowhead Stadium, and they're going to be playing each other. That game is going to be the game of the millennium. It will have the eyes of the entire world on it. It'll be the biggest World Cup game other than the World Cup final, for sure. That's in Kansas City, right? So that's the quarterfinal. Messi in the first game to kick off the World Cup. That'll be huge. The only game, there's 2 games that I think might not sell out. I think they'll sell out because they're going to drop the prices in Kansas City and buy. If you're watching this, wait 2 or 3 days before you'll be able to get a ticket to Ecuador, Curacao, Argentina, Algeria, or Algeria versus Austria for $100.
Somehow Chris Coates, who we went to high school with, who's a Royal super fan, will get into every World Cup game for under $100 combined.
Yes.
I don't know how he'll do it, but he'll do it.
Yeah, for sure.
So just follow him. You look for the skinny guy in Zubaz and go to wherever he goes to buy tickets. All right, so your take, if I'm getting this right, is all the wet blankets about the World Cup will dry off and become excitement. But by the time,
It won't be what we were sold. It'll be different, and I think it'll be better.
okay. I do know. Here's what I will say, and the last plug for Gnarly Hustle in this episode. But we've been here around for a lot of Chiefs games. I've never been here for a Messi thing. Been here for Taylor Swift, and I'm pretty sure that the back roads Gnarly Hustle, like through Woods Chapel, through Lakewood, they're also going to be very well open. And you're going to be able to get here from Brookside. I think you're going to be able to access Gnarly Hustle. So if you don't want to go near the Fan Fest and the insanity in the city, but you want to taste it a little bit, I think our parking lot will give you.
If you haven't been here recently,
trail's
I
gonna
mean,
be
you
great.
guys are building a beer hall.
Yeah.
And this beer hall is going to have 2 TVs underneath it, a stage. We'll have some live music-ish,
Yep.
dance
On Saturdays, yeah.
dance through the World Cup. It's going to have a World Cup bracket, mural. It's going to have me watching many games.
I
mean, 100, 150 people are going to be out here enjoying a good party, celebrating Kansas City, celebrating the world, and having a lot of fun doing it. This is going to be a good place to watch a game.
How much more should I charge for my beer, do you think?
Don't.
Just keep it the same.
In fact, you should create content and advertisements built around everything around the World Cup got expensive.
Okay, what about last automatic tips? There's a lot of people trying to debate. Do we build in the gratuity into the bill, or do you let them write it in?
No, let them write it in.
That's an unpopular opinion around here. All right, that's it. Episode 2, What's Up World Cup, coming your way soon.
Cheers.
Cheers.